Hiya guys, today we're back on the wagons. However, these are the iron body end-door version. The build is the same as the other Corris or Talyllyn style in 009, and I start by cutting the parts free and tidying up the spur pips by using a knife and a file. They need to be smooth or the body won't sit flush on the underframe. The base now needs to be modified. The iron body wagons have angle on three sides, so the door end is filed smooth. The kit comes with replacement ornate axle box covers, and I wanted to give these a go. The only thing you have to do to the original axle boxes is cut off the small bump. Using liquid poly, the replacements can now be glued on. The axle boxes are now opened up a bit with a pin drill to aid running. The underframe can now be constructed. This starts by gluing on one side. Wheels are checked for free running before the second side is glued permanently on. The frame ends are filed smooth so that the dumb buffers can be added. The brakework is next. With the lever glued down in the off position, as you'll only really see these wagons running. If you want to glue it into the on position, just glue them up at a 45-degree angle. The body itself is now glued together. This is nice and easy, but just make sure that the sides are the correct way around, with a little bracket touching the top corners of the door. The trusty cotton bud is now glued on ready for painting, and it acts like a handle. The parts have a light coat of grey primer to aid the paint holding onto the smooth plastic. The wagon floor is steel, so it's masked off ahead of painting the wood, which is done by using miniature paints 82 Earth Brown. The metal body is painted in Rail Match GWR stock grey. It's not very clear in this shot, but it's actually quite a bit darker than the primer. The wooden parts are aged by dry brushing a mix of earth brown and light antique white all over them. You do need to keep it very light, as too much paint won't give the same effect. The floor is now given a coat of Ammo's medium rust, with the pigment mixed with a drop of water. Track rust is brushed over. I mix this with a tiny amount of water to create a paste for texture. Scratches are scribed into the rust with a cocktail stick. And the whole floor is coated with streaking grime. The inside of the body is painted black. I decided to try rusting up the metalwork on the underframe using a red-brown base by Ammo, however it made the wagon look too worn. So I went over them with black. I did try and leave some of the brown coming through at the edges to suggest the rusting. The brown base would look good on a derelict wagon, so I may come back to this further down the line. The metal sides were dry brushed in the same manner as the wood. However, this was a mix of GWR grey and light antique white, and I used a softer paintbrush for a smoother transition. This is a technique that really benefits from a slow build-up on application, so don't be tempted to overload the brush to get it done. It really needs 99% of the paint removed before it even touches the model. So the two parts of the wagon can now be permanently attached. Just make sure you've got the body the correct way round. Water slide decals are now added. I use a cotton bud to squeegee the water out from below the decal. The main weathering is a thick wash of black, dabbed all over the wagon. I try to act fast here as you don't actually want it to start drying on the model. It's personal taste how clean or dirty you actually want the model, but I'm going for a heavier look on these, as they'll be running on a railway that's on its last legs before closure, so it helps with the storytelling. When it's covered, I lightly wash them away with a clean brush with water. I didn't varnish the wagon before this stage, as I forgot, and as a result the decals are moving, although these are easy to slide back in place. Rust is now added on parts of the metalwork, such as the axle boxes, as well as the interior, as the wash darkened it down a lot and I wanted fresh rust showing. Europe earth is also added in the corners. Finally, the wagons have highlights added to the rivet detail to help them stand out from the rest of the body. This isn't really needed, but it makes the wagon pop. The wheel sets are pushed into the axle boxes, and a quick test to check they're happy. And that's it, a Talyllyn / Corris Railway iron body end door wagon done. Well, two of them actually. I wanted to depict them with both styles of axle boxes. It was nice to paint some metalwork for a change, and should give a nice contrast to the wooden wagons they'll run with. These kits have so much detail and very little amount of parts to actually construct, so they're really enjoyable to build. Anyway, thanks for watching and remember to subscribe, as next week we'll be looking at paint chipping. Cheers!